The age gap is 4.
Oh.
And yes, I had my own cabin. It was a small house. I was actually staying in Mississippi compound in Lusaka here.
Yeah. I had always looked at him as a very good friend, a brother, someone I could go to.
We are employers. We run 2 companies. And for the first time, she hugged me and said, I'll appreciate you tomorrow.
Him.
Yes, baby.
Okay.
That's why you are doubting also. This one. Smooth. Mm, 50-50.
It's
Baby, the text you send, what are the sales?
it's
Voice.
it's still
Adele.
it's still
Buy the food. This is 50-50.
okay. My name is Lungowe Jere, and his wife.
That's all. Okay, I'm Joshua Jere. I'm her husband. I'm Lungowe's husband. I'm a pastor at Rock of Escape Worship Center, singer, songwriter, businessman. Who met the other one? Who met the other one? Okay, I'll start because obviously I was the one who was, Lungo and I met in Livingston, or I met her in Livingston. We're both, okay, she was born in Ndola, but pretty much she doesn't know anything about Ndola because she was just a baby. And then they came to Livingston. I was born in Livingston. And we were staying within the same area. Went to the same school, Livala Primary School by then. And my eyes were opened too early. Okay, so I will not say that she was my girlfriend then, but even when I was very young, I think I had a very strong attraction to her. You know, when you're very young and then you kind of like a girl, so you're hoping she smiles at you, and when she smiles at you, your day is made. And yeah, so I think especially when I get into their class, because I was like 3 grades ahead, so you're in grade 7, they're making noise and you're prefect and all, you go in there, and then we had some kind of a friendship there. By the time I was getting into grade 9, grade 8, I had already started pursuing her, and I really show intentions, but she was always putting me in a friend zone, and we're like very good friends, really, really good friends. Then grade 11, I went on still chasing after her, still good friends, but nothing was really happening, and it was very frustrating. But after I completed school and came to Lusaka, I think reality dawned on her that maybe there would be something that might happen in Lusaka. So when I came to Lusaka, just moving the story a bit quicker, I was at church, we were doing praise rehearsals, and somebody came and said, your girlfriend has come to see you from Livingston. And I'm thinking, my girlfriend from Livingston, Well, there she was, and she was still looking as beautiful as always, and I had to say my girlfriend that's come. That she was, yeah. So went with her, went on a date. Did I ask you out? Did I ask you again on the first date? The first one we just did, and then we planned to
meet again.
And that's when I asked you. I asked her out, and then she told me the same girl's cliche, same girl's thing. Let me go and think about it. I don't know if these days ladies do that. That I think it was very common that time. Let me go and think about it. Apparently that day Manchester United was playing Porto. And I'm a very, very serious soccer fan. So she called in the evening to tell me yes, but I didn't know. So when she called, I just went like, can I call you a bit later? I'm watching soccer. I cut the phone really quickly. I think she'll explain much about that one. And after the game finished, that's when I called back, and I was lucky. She said, okay, well, I think that thing that you asked was a yes. But there's some nitty-gritties in this story that she has, so she will explain her perspective of how we met.
I think for me, looking at the fact that I've known him for the past 25 years, I had always taken him as 25 years and more, yes. I had always looked at him as a very good friend, a brother, someone I could go to. And
guys don't like being called brats. That's good.
Yeah, because by then I was pretty young. I think I was in grade 3 or so, somewhere there when we met. And I had always looked at him as someone who is higher than me and someone I could look up to. And after I think grade 7, we became even more closer. I would always go to him for homeworks. I remember after grade 8, he started teaching me debates. And in grade 10, somewhere there, I was made debate president.
So I was responsible for you being debate president?
I think most of my leadership qualifications that I had, I got them because he had always been there for me. So I had always looked at him as a brother. And the fact that he was shorter than me and pursuing me, I think that I didn't like. I had a lot of qualities that I needed in a man or in a boy, in a guy. Things like he should have a dimple, he should be well built up and the like, when you're young and
I'm the exact opposite.
Yeah, so there were all those things. So growing up, I started realizing a lot of things. I looked at how he had pursued me for a long time. And then I remember I reached a point where I sat and I told God and I said, you know what? I am tired of not finding the right person. If there's anyone amongst the guys that has ever approached me and he's short, I'm asking that you make him taller. And a year after, I think I had completed school, he came from Lusaka. And the first time we met, the first thing I noticed is that he had become taller than me. And I knew it there and then that God had answered my prayer. So I kept...
See this story, that God made me tall to compare to her.
Yes.
That it's now time.
It's true. I think it's true. So afterwards, I remember I showed myself, I said, if he's not going to approach me, I'm going to approach him. That was something that girls never used to do back then. But I had convinced myself that he was the right person. And I remember one of the reasons why I would refuse his proposal is that he was a very serious guy. I knew that once I get into this relationship, I'm never coming out. So that also used to scare me a little bit. But then, came to Lusaka. I remember the day he proposed. He was watching football, and then I call him, and he tells me, "Let me call you back." And then I'm thinking, I'm like, does he really know that I'm about to say yes? And all his focus is just on football. So yeah, I waited patiently, and then after the football was done, I said yes, and that's how the whole thing began. And surprisingly, as like I thought, one of the first prayers we had in our relationship, and every time we were praying together, he would always tell God, "Lord, cement this relationship." And I'm thinking, oh, where cement is there, there's no going back. And yeah, from there it has just been good. And yeah, I thank God for this.
No, but I knew that there was something different. I wasn't sure there was going to be a yes because having pursued her for a long time, and then we were like very good friends. Sometimes when people see us, they would think we are like dating, right? But you are the one who knows. Like as a guy, you're the one who knows to say, look, there's that energy where okay, there is this, and then there's that thing where somebody feels more satisfied. So when she came back, and the fact that somebody said your girlfriend has come to see you, I kind of thought, did she introduce herself as my girlfriend? So that was a bit something. Then the first date that we went on, number one, she looked extremely beautiful. Like, I know she's like the most beautiful person in the whole world, But that time, I think even Mass was like, she looked extremely beautiful, and the gaze she was giving me, the energy she gave me, there was just something different. And that's why from that date, I just said, I'm going to ask her again. Like, there was nothing like, we chat and we just set for a certain, for a second date, and I knew I was going to ask her out. But the football thing, I think, is just a problem. It's just a problem with me, But it's a good problem because she's really embraced it very, very, very well. So, like, when I'm watching my football, I just get lost. So I even forgot that I had proposed. That's not necessarily that I did not want to hear. It's just like she's calling, and then Porto is playing Manchester United, and I'm thinking, But after the game ended, now reality dawned. And thank God she said yes, and here we are.
I communicated with my elder sister, I think, there and then, the same day that I was going to, because my elder sister is very close with him as well.
Up to now.
To the point that I think my kids are always laughing to say, hey, like these guys, like,
she played a very big role in keeping me.
Like, your elder sister is the young sister to your husband. That's what my kids say. But then, yeah, I told her there and then, and she was very happy for me. The family, I think, about 6 months afterwards, most of them started knowing. Seriously, just before the wedding, I think we told our parents, yes.
My mom danced. She used to see our friendship, and she used to tell me she had a certain criteria of the kind of lady she wanted me to marry, and she liked her. So when I told her, my mom really, really danced. Then my father likes very good things, like he likes nice things. So when I told him about her, he was happy that I found a beautiful girl. Okay? Then, but the way her family received it, everybody else was okay, but maybe she could share a bit more. It was a bit difficult with her dad, especially because she was quite younger. So maybe you can narrate.
Dad had always been strict on us, and growing up, he had always been strict, and just finding out that I was dating him, I think was a bit tough for him, because us being 5 girls and 1 boy in the family, he had always looked out for us. But his toughness, I think, was similar to how most dads would behave. And that's one thing that I understood. Yeah. But he knew that I was dating a very good guy. Afterwards, fast forward, I remember he after the dowry, he even reduced it a little bit when he discovered that it was really him. So you can tell that he knew that he was giving away his daughter to somebody very good.
Four years.
4 years.
4 years. 4 years, yeah. Though, honestly speaking, from the time she said yes, like when we just said we are dating, that was almost as good as "Will you marry me?" I don't know if you understand. So from there, the 2 of us even started planning wedding. What very funny story of how we started planning that. Yeah. So
I think I knew we were going to get married, but I didn't know at what time, because by then I was pretty young. We got married when I was 21.
20 to 21.
21.
You're 21, eh?
Yeah.
Okay.
We got married when I just turned 21, and we took a normal trip to Livingstone, from Lusaka to Livingstone. And he didn't tell me that he was going to propose at that time. So I went to see him at his place, and there was everyone there, the sisters, the brothers, the parents. And then the next thing I see, he kneels down in front of the parents and the sisters, and he brings this box of shoes, because I loved shoes back then. And inside the shoes was the ring, and that's how he proposed, yeah. And then afterwards, he took me to his dad and told him that he wanted to marry me. I think it wasn't.
It wasn't that it was.
It wasn't, but I knew exactly what he wanted, something strapless. So I knew I needed to wear exactly that. So yeah, we would move like from shop to shop checking until we found it. Yeah.
And the thing is, I think we planned our wedding way, way before. So before we even told our parents that we want to get married and whatever it is, we started doing because we knew, okay, we're very clever. We knew both of us were pretty young. So they were going to be strict in terms of how prepared are you and all these things. So things like looking for a wedding dress and all these things. We did 80% of what we needed to do for our wedding before anybody else could come in. Because those were the questions. How ready are you? Do you think you do? They say, can you manage to do? He says, this we've already done. Can you? This we've already done. And I was not even working. I was a serious Popeye, but just start planning and working prior. I don't know if she still has it, but our wedding was in 2012, but the plan was 2009. We had something drawn up in 2010.
2010.
Between the 2 of us, the age gap is 4.
Oh.
And yes, I had my own cabin. It was a small house. I was actually staying in Misisi compound in Lusaka here.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty girls, no class. And I think she does. She saw what I was going to become, and I think she accepted me then. So I had a small house in Mississippi compound. It was a one room with a planka bed, plank, a bed made of planks, which was our even our first official bed in the other house after we got married, and the 2-plate cooker. There's one thing that just never missed there, obviously because of soccer. What was it? DSTV. So DSTV was always there. Like it was always there. So yeah, I had my own house, yes.
I think I wasn't really nervous. I knew God had a plan for our lives. I knew I was getting married to a very serious guy. I wasn't really worried whether he would take care of me or not. I remember while I was in school, most of my friends would ask, but why would you date a guy from Mississippi compound and the like? And some of them would bring guys from richer families to just come and see if they could entice me. And I stood my ground because I knew his potential. I knew he wasn't going to stay there for a long time. And yeah, I think I was 100% full in the relationship.
I think my wife was very complimentary. We complemented each other. She saw beyond the physical. Like, I remember she told me, you are never going to ask for money from anyone. We will work for that money, or you will work for that money. I hope you are getting my point. So she also made it easier that living in that kind of environment was just one of those passing phases in life. And in no time, we are here. Heaven came down. There's something about love that many people may not understand. Somebody okay, this is just it, okay? More than, I don't know how many years ago, but she had lost her mother's money, and I had that money. It wasn't even really mine, but because I loved her so much, I gave it to her so that she doesn't get in trouble. And for the first time, she hugged me and said, I'll appreciate you tomorrow. That tomorrow never came. I didn't know what that appreciation was. And maybe 10, 12, 13, 14, 15 years later, I saw what that appreciation was. Because I remember when she said that, I felt she wanted to tell me, I will be your girlfriend. But then, like she alluded to earlier, she still couldn't own up to those words. And so I was waiting all that time. And so seeing her now come, that answer came, and heaven came, light came. I even did a song for her. I'm here today to confirm it what I said, that my sole desire was to make you be my wife. It seems like a mystery. We're making history. I wrote that song specifically for her. So if you see the lyrics, that's the feeling. Thirteen years
this year. So after Mrs. We looked for another apartment in Bonaventure. I loved Bonaventure because my older sister had always stayed there, and it felt like Livingstone. So we went around looking for a house in Bonaventure, and then we found this man who had a lot of houses, and he had a room which he wanted to rent out. But then he was using it for something else again. So when he met us, we told him our story, And then he loved us then. And then he gave us one of his
Very big house.
big mansions just right on top of his house.
Big mansion.
It wasn't fully done, but then he said, you could use this while I'm finishing.
It was actually fully done, honey. It was
that-
fully done. It was 4-bedroomed house. It wasn't worth what we were worth. And it was very funny because there was this big house and the only room we could only use was just a bedroom. Yeah. But maybe just to get on there to her, we came from Mississippi compound. My wife and I worked very hard. And one day you see it when the book comes out, because I think we have a very powerful success story. We are employers. We run 2 companies, Milagros Investments Limited, as well as Prime Tires Zambia Limited, which is one of Zambia's thriving business in terms of tires. By the grace of God, we have been given stewardship of God's ministry, the Rock of Escape Worship Center, Rock of Escape Worship Unlimited, which is the musical wing of the church, 2 kids, and we keep growing, both in spiritually and in our professional life.
I think God, we've always said God is love, just exactly what the Bible says, God is love. And the moment you keep that definition that God is love, then you will learn to respect your partner. Marriage comes with a lot of responsibilities, a lot of things. You get to know a lot of things that you didn't know about your partner. You have a lot of expectations. Sometimes they are met, sometimes they are not met. But when you know and acknowledge the fact that God is love, and just get to see how God has always been there for us, even when we wrong him, even when we think as if he's not there, he's still there. You get to love your partner more. Even when things are tough, you know to say things will be okay. Even when you know you have hurt your partner, you know that they'll be able to forgive you and not hold it against you. Because if you don't appreciate the fact that God is love, you get to keep a lot of things against your partner. And what shall it profit you? You're sleeping with the same person on the bed, and yet you have all these wrong or negative thoughts about them. So I would say God is love, and he's always been faithful to us. Yes.
I like the I love you. I wanted to hear that word for a long time. So when it comes from my mouth, yeah, I think it's 3 words. I love you.
Get out.
It's a sweet get out. I think it's a sweet get out.
And the kids at home, I think, are used to this now, because when we say, get out, yes, we know that it's something funny.
I'll reiterate what she said. God. Somebody might think, they're pastors, they're whatever it is. You can get counsel from anybody. People can talk. People can do this. But look, if you want to not to be honest with your partner, be unfaithful, there is no amount of conviction that can stop you from being unfaithful than the fear of the Lord. So before you can even think about being unfaithful to your partner, when you are so close to God, He convicts you. You feel, I can't do this against Him. And ultimately, that does with the same. When things go hard and things go tough, and you're thinking, because things like that do happen. We had a situation where we lost everything, baby Sando, doing business and all. And sometimes people say love nanjara severe nirana. It's kind of true, because when there is no money and there are problems, things kind of fade away. But the love of God keeps you together. He hates divorce. So she loves him. She can't do that. I love God. I can't do that. And what is it? Beloved, let's love one another. For love is of God, and everyone that loveth is born of God. He that loveth not knoweth not God, because God is love. 1 John 4, 7 and 8. Well, let's love each other like God loves us. So, yeah, that's the biggest lesson.
The fact that he loves me for who I am. I think I've never had any closer friend than him. He's always been there for me, both in my teenage life and up to now. He understands me. He's helped me grow in my spiritual life. And I remember even academically, there were times when I would find things very hard in my courses, but he would take his time to sit and just help me through. And one thing that I noticed is that every time he would help me, I would always pass. So he's taken his time really to train me and make me be who I am today. Yeah.
She's very beautiful, loving, understanding.
One thing.
She is the epitome of what would make Joshua Jere's wife. It's almost like every day.
Yeah.
Because that's really the strongest part of our ministry, actually. We even have a program at church called Changes that he obviously deals with many other issues, but we actually have it because of the same, almost like every day. Even yesterday we were doing that one.
Yeah. It's almost like every day.
Yeah. We have actually dealt with complex ones where sometimes you can talk about God when you're dealing with Christians, but we've dealt with even non-Christians like Muslims and Lebanese and all. I think the latest was this Peruvian. The lady was from Peru and the man was from Lebanon. And first of all, they, just by monitoring our lives, they could tell that we can learn from these people. But we're able to push in the word of God that the lady actually started praying. And several times they would actually come and seek counsel. Confidentiality would not allow me to say the details, but what I can say is eventually we really helped them in as regards what they were going through. So we thank God for this gift, but we know that when we yield to him, I think he gives utterance and helps you to help others. But the best example there can be is just how you carry yourselves as a couple. It's a greater testimony.
From 19th October.
18th August. My birthday is like 19th October. My daughter's birthday is 18th of October. And they keep talking about their birthday from January to, yeah. So we won't really say birthdays is a big thing, but we will say our anniversary is the big thing. Our wedding anniversary, kind of like that one is more, the thing than our birthday. My name is Joshua.
My name is Lungowe.
And we are the Jere,
and this is how we met.